Hello, Donovan Ross. On my phone, kind of getting used to the whole looking at the camera, which is at the top of this big phone. Anyway, today I am installing a Cobb fuel pressure sensor on my 2008 WRX STI. My tuner, Alex from Boost Control Performance, I'm just now starting to go with them. He recommended it. That way they can monitor a lot of fuel pressure stuff for the tuning. I was with Delicious before, but it's been a few years. BCP is a lot more local. I'm getting ready for the RallyCross season in the Detroit SCCA region. The first event is in just under a month, so I've got a lot of stuff that I got to get done, including tuning, a fuel leak at the tank, new spark plugs, put the stock suspension back on the car, and I today just put the stock bypass back on. It took off my Go Fast Spits blow-off valve. I had a boost issue the last year or so, and so a lot of people recommended that I got rid of the aftermarket blow-off valve and went back with a stock bypass. So I'm hoping that that gets rid of my boost issue, and I'm pretty excited to go with BCP. I've heard a lot of good stuff. I got a couple friends that have gone with them and know some of the guys up there personally. I have a friend that actually is a tech up there, so it's going to be pretty exciting. They're a lot more local, so it'll be a lot more convenient. There's a lot done to the car so far. It has an accelerated performance built short block, 8.5-to-1 compression, Wiseco pistons, Manley rods, stock crank, stock case halves. So it's nothing too crazy, just a rods pistons motor. Bottom, the motor's about as good as the case halves, and the case halves are usually good till a little bit over 500, but anything really over that, maybe 550, the case walls start to flex, and that's when your bottom end packs its bags and it heads south, and I don't want that if I don't have to. It's got I think OEM head gasket, ARP head studs. It's a bolt-ons car for the class that I'm running in, for the Detroit region SCCA Rallycross. It's prepared all-wheel drive, so to do that, to stay in that class with where I'm at, I have to have at least one catalytic converter in a stock. I think it's in a stock location, not sure, but I have a high flow cat downpipe. The rest of the exhaust is catless. Still stock intercooler. I've got a Perrin turbo inlet, Tomei equal length header and a up pipe, Cobb SF intake. Now I have the Cobb fuel pressure sensor. Grimspeed air oil separator, although I will probably be upgrading that to like an actual catch can system. I'm not a fan of this one, but it's better than nothing at the moment. It's got a just a custom exhaust. It was on the car, nothing crazy. Currently the car has BCBR coilovers on it. I'm not sure on the specs on that. Also came with the car. And then RPF1. RPF1s, they're powder coated white. They're 18x10 plus 38. And it's got 265 square on some old Dunlop tires, so which will be replaced eventually. It's got what is it, a Perrin strut tower bar. Trying to think. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. Mishimoto radiator hoses, and that's really about it. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just a basic bolt-ons car. But it's pretty fun for what it is. Still stock turbo. It's a newer turbo. I think it's got 6,000 miles on it stock though. I gotta stay stock turbo also for the class that I'm in. But I don't like going super fast. I just like going kind of quick. So that's about all there is to that. I'm trying to think. The post-secondary air pump that these come with, that's been deleted. We made some plates for the head to get rid of them. That's really about it. If I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get ready for this season. I hope I can work out all of the little gremlins that I've been fighting here in the next month or so. So we'll see where we go from that. But I mean, I'm not a videographer or good at cinematography by any means, so bear with me as I try to get used to this and film little clips about what exactly I'm doing. I tried to find a video on how to install this. I mean, I could figure it out, but I just want to make sure so I'm not, pressure sensing the return line or something like that and being an idiot. So I found a write-up on it, but I couldn't find any videos on exactly how to do it. Pretty straightforward. So I'll record some little clips, probably bunch them together, and we'll go from there. So yeah, thanks for watching. So here we are. as the instructions say, they say to remove the fuse for the fuel pump, turn the car on, this is before you disconnect the fuel lines, right here. Do that, pull the fuse out, turn the car on, start it. What that's going to do is it's going to run all of the fuel that's currently in the lines through the motor. The car is going to kind of start to stumble as it's, you know, running out of fuel, and then it's just going to stall out on its own. You're doing that way you can depressurize the system. That way when you remove that fuel line, you know, right there again, you're not getting sprayed with fuel all over the place. After you do that, you can use one of these tools right here. I think it's I want to say it's the blue one, to remove that line where these little fittings are. If you don't have one of these, one thing that I like to do is I'll use some of the thicker zip ties. You'll go in right here where there's a little marking on each side, and you'll push it in, and then you'll go in with it to the left and then pop it back out to release it. Be careful. I usually set a towel over it once I know I'm on it when I slide it off, just in case there is any residual fuel. Right before you pop that off, pull the negative terminal off your battery, or just disconnect it altogether. That way you're not starting any fires. It's just to be safe. I know this battery is dead, but I'll probably still do it anyway because there's always a little bit left in there. For the most part, it's just a safety thing. Once you do that, we'll open our box here. I'll show you guys. I kind of have it set up already. So this right here is the fuel pressure sensor itself. It's pretty nice. It's made by another company, but that's all right. I don't know if you can see a part number on that with our setting I'm in. Well, anyway, it plugs in. They've got their own tether right here. It plugs in, and then it runs down, and the line is super long because when you hook it up, you'll run it either above or beneath your intake manifold. Over to here, you'll pull this off your turbo inlet and intake. You'll run it over here where this little blue line is, or connector is. That is for your passenger side tumbler gas valve. They open up in between the intake manifold and the top of your intake side on your head to release to let certain amounts of gases in and out. I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning on that is. I don't really care. I just know that with where I'm at power wise, I don't need to do the delete unless my tuner tells me to, in which case I will. But anyway, so you'll unplug again. You'll unplug that blue clip right there, and the male side will go into one of these, and then the female side will go into the other, and then you'll plug one into the tumbler gas valve, and then the actual plug that originally went there will go on the other side, and it just kind of puts this into the middle, and then it runs across or underneath the engine to this. When your pressure sensor right here on the right is actually going to be threaded in to the side of this piece, which is actually super nice. So it'll thread in right here. We'll use a thread sealer, that way, you know, we don't have any leaks. There's a plug on this side, which we'll use an Allen key to tighten it in where it needs to be. More thread sealer, and then this side slides in and connects on here, so it'll sit somewhere it'll sit pretty much like that. This line right here will connect onto this side, and then our fuel pressure sensor will be right here off where my left thumb is, and then the line will I'll probably try to snake it down somewhere right there and fish it all the way around through here, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but there's already a lot going on top of this you know, engine, so if I can tuck something underneath there, it'll probably be for the better. So this piece is actually super nice. You know, the quality seems pretty high. I like it a lot. Seems pretty simple, and then the fitting down inside of here, I think you can see it like that. So it's pretty cool. But that's basically all you have to do. It's nothing crazy. It comes with a couple zip ties that are somewhere down in this box to just kind of clean it up, maybe run it along another line, so you know it's not all over the place. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Right, to make things easier, I just pulled the battery out altogether. You'll notice a lot of dirt and mud and whatnot in the engine bay. Wouldn't recommend it. Makes things dirty and it's a pain in the ass. You know, that's the consequences of not actually running a skid plate for RallyCross. That's like the stock plastic one. It's kind of crappy, and then a bolt snapped off in the subframe. I think it was the subframe. So I'm gonna have to tap that out eventually. And I'd like to get, as I think it's like TF Works aluminum skid plate. I think it's like 16th inch aluminum. I'm not sure. I believe that's what it is. you know, that'll protect your oil pan and some of your bits right underneath your engine. So you don't want to do that, you know, hit a rock or anything, ruts. So anyway, I believe I got this on here. I'm gonna try to get it in there a little bit better. It's kind of a pain in the ass how it kind of tabs up right here, you can see, so it's hard to really get that around there. I think the yellow one was actually going to be fitting over the line a little bit better than the blue one I was originally going to try, but like I said, that tab right there is just kind of a pain in the ass. I can get the top side, you know, one side of it in, but on the bottom side it won't, I can't get it to go inside of this plastic connector. So I think I'm going to end up, nope, it hit the ground, we're good. I think I'm going to end up having to get some zip ties or something to try to get behind there to disconnect that. All right, I was able to finagle this thing on somehow. Hopefully this one's long enough to get down to the bottom of that. Sometimes they're not. Man, this one might not be. All right, so I set the camera down for a second so I could just put two hands on it. If you look down in there, you might be able to see, you know, the little clip right there. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I had to push this in a little bit further, that way it would go all the way up the tool to fully disengage the little teeth, the two teeth on each side that are in there. So we got that done. So now that we have the line off, we're gonna go to our adapter. There's a little plug right there. I'm gonna put mine on the back side, that way it sits like this. Okay, that way you can see the Cobb logo and whatnot. So you'll take your plug. You can see I've already put a little bit of a thread sealer around it. You don't want to go too far in. If you do, when you plug this into the male fitting on the line, it might hit it. The same goes with the actual sensor itself. It's still down in the box. Thread it in, but don't over thread it. Make sure you use the included thread sealer with it as well. So before you go off putting this on to the fuel line, there's a little O-ring down in there. It's hard to see. It's right where that metal ring ends. There's a little O-ring in there. Take a little lubrication or lubrication spray and get that, you know, not overly lubricated, but just enough of a bead on there just so it can slide on and seal properly, but without tearing it. So I've got a little bit of oil. I'm just gonna dab onto the end of like a paper towel or something and just get it down in there a little bit, just enough to make sure it's moist. All right, so we're back again. Sorry for the haze. The screen protector on my camera overlays a little bit onto the flashlight, and so it makes it hazy. I have to replace that. Anyway, so this fitting right here gave me a lot of trouble. After I lubricated it, it would not go on. It took me 25 minutes just to get it on for some reason. I didn't want to damage the O-ring, so I kept trying to lubricate it, clean it off, and everything until I finally got it to go on. Just didn't want to, you know, hurt the O-ring and then kind of, you know, and then have to wait. So that was kind of a pain in the ass, but I did finally get it out, which is nice. I should have pulled these off to make it a little bit easier to route directly under, but instead I went under here. You can kind of see the tether going around behind the power steering, or the AC condenser, the alternator, and whatnot. Comes back around right here. Because I couldn't get the plugs back under through here, unfortunately. So I got it coming right up over the inlet. And I was wrong earlier. I pulled that plug off right there, realizing that that is absolutely for I think cams, cam position timing or something. So I'm gonna plug that back in. Ignore what I said earlier. It is not the blue line. I'll put something in earlier in the video, so you already know that by now. I'm an idiot. I know exactly where I'm looking. That is the plug for the tumbler gas valve, as that is the tumbler gas valve. So anyway, right here, that's the dirty plug. This is the new one right here. So we're gonna plug this in to here, plugged in, and now we plug this into here. If I can get it with one hand, it's a bit more difficult than I was initially anticipating, but nonetheless, we got it. So now we have our fuel pressure sensor plugged in. This you can monitor, I believe, with the access port. It's what Cobb's website says. It's what my tuner says, and that's why we're doing this. I'm trying to tuck it in here gently so, you know, nothing is getting pinched and whatnot. There we go. Because I know this has to go back on, but we should be good right there where we're at. So that's good. Once we put that on, it'll push it down a little bit to probably right there, and we should be safely in business. On your access port, when you go this route, there is a setting on there as far as parameters that your tuner will tell you to turn on. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm going to set that up here in a minute. I'm gonna finish putting that back in, connecting a few other things that I left unplugged over there, put the battery back in, charge it up a little bit, and you know, set all of my parameters to the preferences of my my new tuner, and we'll go from there. Probably upload the base map. I already have it on the access port. This is a new house right here. Oh God, this glare is awful. I'm so sorry. Anyway, this is the new garage. It's pretty decent. I don't know if this is gonna help. Yeah, that's not helping. So, holy shit. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh shit, how do I zoom out? Anyway. God damn it. This is the new garage. This is terrible. It's pretty big, way bigger than my other one, but the power feed for it, you can see right there, there's an issue with it somewhere. So I have to have an electrician come out, and then I have to get some lights. I'm gonna get rid of those and order some LED strips or something, get it nice and bright in here. That way I can have heat and work on things at night, because, you know, it's winter, so we're running out of sunlight real quick. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. I'm gonna put that back in and then get that back right there. As soon as I actually begin logging and I can show you where I monitor the fuel pressure, I'll show you guys. That'll be pretty cool. Right here, this is the stock bypass valve, by the way. Everybody told me to put that back in. I think that means it comes off a 17 STI, so that's newer. I didn't have the original hardware, but from an old parts car Impreza that I had a bunch of miscellaneous bolts, and these happen to be long enough and the right thread pitch. So I got those in, as well as a new gasket. This is the Go Fast Bits one that I had in before. It's like a hybrid. Apparently, I don't know for sure. There's this middle Allen nut or bolt is a setting basically for tightening the spring and loosening it to set it where you want. But a lot of people tell me that, you know, the valve itself leaks, and that's, you know, you leak your boost out. So whatever, you know, I don't really care about, you know, how it sounds. I just want it to run properly, and so if, you know, if this is gonna help, I'll be way happier. So I'll keep you guys updated with how things are gonna go, and hopefully this works pretty well and fixes a couple issues, both the fuel pressure and the new bypass valve, new used bypass valve. Thank you guys for watching. Let me see if I can get any light. Not really. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I'll work on the camera skills, and yeah, thank you guys. Bye.